Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Drake and the flute. We are going to be doing lesson 18, book lesson 18. I hope you've already warmed up on your 5-note scale or on one of your other scales. And even before we do lesson 18, I would like to do another warm up on page 26. So everybody flip back to page 26. I'd like to do number 2. Page 26, number 2. The one that's called flexibility, right here on flexibility. And what they're referring to is the flexibility of your lips. So as you scan through number 2, check the key signature, of course. Do you notice that it goes low, high, low, high, low, high, all through it, all these slurs? And the first time through, I highly recommend not doing the slurs. If you leave off the slurs, and this one in particular, it makes it much more easy. Okay, but anyways, the low note and the high note are the same letter. For example, the very first note is low E flat, and then it goes up to the regular E flat. And then the next notes are F to F, G to G, A to A, and of course it's A natural, B flat to B flat, and then this one, C to high C. I don't know as if we've ever played high C before. Take a look at that. Do you see how it has a double ledger line? Those extra lines are called ledger lines. So this is C, and then overblow it and it becomes high C. The finger position is the same. You just have to change your lip pressure. Okay, so anyways, so song number 2, again, they're referring to lips, because for those octaves, that distance between low E flat and high E flat is called an octave. Between low F and high F, it's called an octave, because there are 8 steps in it, and oct means 8. But anyways, so what you want to do for the low octave is you want to relax your lips a little bit and blow more down. And then when it switches to the higher tone, firm the edges of your lips a little bit and blow more up. So on song number 2, the one called Flexibility, I encourage you to play it without the slurs to start with, because your tongue will give you a little bit of power to help you control it. And after you get that mastered, then I encourage you to try the slurs. But to do the slurs is much more challenging. So even me right now, I am not going to do the slurs. So everybody find low E flat. Remember, it's the finger position is like regular E flat, but you put your first finger down to create low E flat. Blow gently. Everybody find a low E flat. Remember, blow kind of down, have the edges of your lips relaxed. Okay, this is song number 2. 1, 2, ready, go. Now I'm going to play it again with the slurs, I want to demonstrate. I'm going to come to the camera. If you could look at my lips, I'm going to play a low E flat and I'm going to slur it to a regular E flat. Please notice the difference in the shape of my lips from low E flat to regular E flat. See how they point a little more forward? I'm going to switch to C. I'm going to do regular C to high C. Quite a bit of difference in the lip shape. Okay, say song with the slurs. 1, 2, ready. That was Flexibility from page 26. Now flip to lesson 18. Everybody, lesson 18. Okay, song number 1. Check the key signature, of course. Song number 1 has B flat, E flat key signature. And then what I often look for is, are there any A's in that song? And there is. The first note of measure 5 is a low A. So you know, because of this key signature, it's going to be A natural like this. A natural. And then there is another A natural later. There's two A naturals, the first note of measure 5 and the first note of measure 7. So you might want to circle those or something. Feel free to draw the natural sign to help yourself remember that it's A natural in this situation. Song 1, I am going to do the slurs. But if it's your first time playing it, you might want to leave off the slurs. Again, leaving off the slurs makes the song easier. And as you look through it, can you see that it's kind of scale-ish? Like it starts off with the 5-note scale. Okay, so ta, 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 ta. So when we get to the T-Ts, T, 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 T. Song number 1. Okay, everybody find your first note? Song 1. 1, 2, ready, go. Song number 2. First thing, let's take a look at the key signature. Oh my, song number 2, 4 flats. 4 flats. And you might want to write this down. The 4 flats, always in this order: B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. The flats always go in that order, no matter what instrument. B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Okay, we have done D flat before, but I'll remind you, D flat is weird. It's the pinky only, your right pinky only, and no other keys at all. D flat is a very airy sounding note. Everybody try a D flat. It's just your right pinky and nothing else. Okay, so on song number 2, and there's several Ds, do you trust yourself to remember to play D flat? If you think you might forget, please write flat signs with the pencil or circle them or something. It's totally okay to write in your book. I highly recommend using pencil in case you change your mind, but it's totally okay. It's better than playing a wrong note. Also, remember A flat. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 different, the very last note is A flat. Remember, it has to be A flat, the one that has your pinky. All right, so B flats, E flats, A flats, and D flats. Okay. There's a lot of rests in this song. The rests are important. They're as important as the notes, so please count the rests carefully. And then the last thing I want to mention on song number 2 are the legato markings. Take a look at song 2. Do you see how there's these extra lines? And it can make it look kind of confusing. I actually wish they would save those for a more advanced, like a middle school book. But since they put them in this book, I want to mention it. It's called legato or tenuto markings, meaning smooth, play with a little bit of a gentler tongue than you normally would do. It's called legato or tenuto, Italian words. But on song 2 in an elementary school for today, I am not picky about it. Just play it with your regular style. I prefer to save those kind of things for when you're more advanced. So song number 2, I'm going to warm up the first measure. Everybody warm up the first measure. Okay, including all the rests. Song 2. 1, 2, ready, go. Song 3. B flat, E flat key signature. That's usually a very comfortable key signature for flutes. It's called O When the Saints. The full name of it is O When the Saints Go Marching In. You might recognize this melody, and I would bet that your parents might know it, and especially your grandparents would know this one. Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, when the saints come marching in. Or go marching in. Okay, as you scan through it, do you see the curving lines are ties? They're not slurs. The reason is, and there's 4 of them in the song, a tie links 2 notes that are the same pitch, meaning the same tone. So can you see that first one is connecting an F to an F? So it's called a tie. And if you look through the song, you can see all 4 of them are ties. So I want you to do them. You can do them. It means you link it together in one breath, but ties are because it's the same exact note. Okay, and it also starts on a pickup note. Pickup notes, 3 pickup notes. You know how in song 3, how it's supposed to be 4 beats in each measure? The first measure only has 3 beats. It's an incomplete measure. Those are called pickup notes. And it's very commonly used in music. And if you notice, the very, very last measure of that song only has 1 beat. So could you see if there was a repeat sign, even though there isn't, but if there was a repeat sign, it would flow perfectly, where the first measure has 3 beats and the last measure only has 1 beat, that together it equals 4. Very commonly used in music. So on song 3, to lead it off, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then you jump in with the pickup notes. So everybody warm up the pickup notes. Everybody warm up the beginning. Okay, I'm going to lead it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Did you recognize that melody? It is pretty famous. I bet your grandparents would know it. Okay, song 4. Song 4. Do you see it also starts with a pickup note? So notice how the first measure only has 1 beat. And if you look at the very last measure by the DCL Fine, it only has 3 beats. So together it adds up to 4. Again, pickup notes are very commonly used. There is the legato markings. Please just ignore the legato markings. Technically, it would mean a smoother tongue, play with a smoother style, but I'm not going to be picky about that. There are lots of slurs. There are lots of slurs. Feel free on your first time playing it to leave off the slurs. It does make it easier if you leave the slurs off, but I am going to do the slurs. Also, it has the DCL Fine. Remember, that means leap back to the beginning. DCL Fine means return to the beginning and then stop at the word fine, the Italian words da capo al fine. Da capo means the beginning, fine means finish. So play the whole song through, leap back to the beginning, and then stop at the word fine. Okay, so I'm going to play it about this speed. That's about the speed. Everybody warm up the beginning. Okay, I'm going to just lead it off with 1, 2, 3, and then you jump in on beat 4. Okay, this is song 4. It's called Rustic Sign. I'm going to lead it off with 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That was Rustic Song. I took it at a pretty quick speed. If that was too fast for you, remember, feel free to watch the video. Just lay the flute on your shoulder and just see if you can move your fingers and keep up with me. That's a good way to practice too if I'm playing the songs too fast for you. Just see if you can do the fingers. Okay, the one on the bottom of the page is called A Peaceful Moment. A Peaceful Moment. Again, ignore the legato markings. There are a few slurs. This one has DS al fine. DS al fine means you don't leap back to the beginning. You leap back to that del segno, which means the sign in Italian. It looks kind of like a demented dollar sign. So you play it all the way through, then you leap back to the del segno, and then again you stop at the word fine. You stop at the word fine. Okay, B flat and E flat. And same thing on Rustic Song. Did you remember that it was A natural? A natural? Feel free to write reminders in for yourself. It's always okay with me if you write in your book. Okay, this one has 2 measures of silence. It comes up toward the middle of the first line. And remember that would be counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to count that out loud just to get used to it. In band, you'll have a lot of times where you have to rest long measures. Okay, so A Peaceful Moment. Everybody warm up the beginning. Okay, I'm going to lead it with 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3. Ends up being kind of a long song. Did you get, there was quite a few low G's in that middle section, some low G's, a lot of low A's. Okay, so that was lesson 18.